In this video, we're looking at the Kimura from side control.
So my knee past the head, side control. So it's almost more like a corner hold position, you know, with this leg out here. Elbow on the ground. Just the point of the elbow, not my whole forearm. Then his arm is very high, which means it's very vulnerable to me pushing on it. Okay? Now I like to use my thumb. I grab the hairy part of the thumb and I just add a little twist. Just weakens it a little bit. Okay? But what I would do is I pull up and then I get my body ready and I punch to his armpit. And he's ready to, you may have had this experience where you go to lock this, keep your arm straight, lock it straight. And you can barely touch, I can barely touch my wrist. When my elbow is on the ground, then what that does, that elevates his arm. If my forearm is on the ground, his arm will naturally fall much closer to the ground. By putting the point of my elbow on the ground and elevating it, what I can then do is grab his wrist and I can do a one-arm push-up to lock the Kimura. I can easily lock it. You see that? Okay. Then I roll off him and I finish. So now, when you grab somebody's arm like this, if I try to push it down immediately, they just resist. They straighten their arm like this, and then it gets harder to lock. So what I always do when I grab someone's arm is I pull it up and they resist that. They pull it in, and then that gives me the action reaction I need to push this into the armpit. I'm trying to take his arm, relax, keep your arm relax, and stuff his wrist in his armpit like that. Okay, I'm not trying to lock it like this. I don't want a frame here. This is a 90-degree angle. That's a strong structure for him. So elbow on the ground, I grab the wrist, I like to twist it a little, I pull it up, and I'm getting my weight off of him. Now I stuff this, boom, one arm push up to his armpit, I lock the Kimura, sorry, switch my hips. I keep my chin on his arm, and then I roll him up so his elbow's facing the ceiling, and I ignore his taps, and then I push his hand towards his head. When I say one arm push up, I mean one arm push up, I'm putting all my body weight into it. And I'm not pushing it down to here, I'm pushing it to his armpit. Then I lock, okay? A lot of times for the Kimura, people say don't use your thumb. From some angles, I don't use my thumb. From some angles, I do use my thumb. Because I like to twist it, and from this angle, when I do the Kimura, I use my thumb. The reason people say don't use your thumb has to do with leverage when you grip. You know, sometimes when you use your thumb, it's a weaker angle. But for some grips, it makes sense to use the thumb, such as this one, if we're gonna keep my chin on him. Now I'm gonna roll him up. His elbow's facing the wall, I want his elbow to face the ceiling. If the elbow stays here and I push this on, I'm hitting the ground, and it gets harder to finish this. It's a little easier when the elbow's facing the ceiling. Okay? And his options to counter are taken away. I'm in a pool, and he's the raft. I can slide off the raft into the pool, and then see I lose control of his wrist, right? I'm losing my power here. I see people do this and they try to finish, power out of it. That's what happens. I need to keep my power, him close to me. So I have him here, that's why I keep my chin on it. Now, instead of sliding off the raft, I'm gonna flip the raft over towards me. See the difference? I didn't move away from him, I rolled him. So his elbow's facing the ceiling, and I push this here.